Kicking up dust on a rick house floor. Charred oak whispers we can't ignore. Stories in the mash, fire in the grain. Raise up your glass, feel that bourbon flame. We're the bourbon legends, let the spirit flow. From the backwoods stills to tonight's big show. Every drop a story, every sip that's drowned. We're bourbon legends, let's throw it down. Let's throw it down. From Kentucky hills to the neon lights, we're talking small batch days and whiskey nights. Tasting the past in every pour. Gonna carve our names on the distiller's door. We're the bourbon legends, let the spirit flow. From the backwoods stills to tonight's big show. Every drop a story, every sip that's drowned. We're bourbon legends, let's throw it down. Let's throw it down. Raise 'em high, feel the fire. Clinking glasses, lifting higher. One more toast to the ones before and the legends we're making forevermore. We're the bourbon legends, let the spirit flow. From the rick house walls to your front row. Every drop a story, every sip a crown. We're bourbon legends, come gather round. Come gather round. Come gather round.
What is going on, everyone? Well, where am I? Hold on, I got to get myself up here. Hey, there I am. Boy, I tell you what, live TV, it's always something, you know it. Thought I had it set up once again and found out that I was wrong. But hey, anyway, it's a good day because you know why? It's only one more day left in the work week unless you're Chill Will Rocco. He probably has to work all weekend. So, Will, I know, have a drink tonight, for you may not have one for another day or two. Anyway, folks, good to see y'all here. We're going to bring in my cohort here, Mr. Roger Randall. What's going on, Roger?
We got nothing but fireworks over here, baby. We're looking forward to the night.
You know
It's
I
gonna
love
be a great
fireworks. I'm
I
a
know you
firework. I'm a fireworks kind of dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, it seems like lately we've just always talked about the weather. Man, the weather was crazy here today.
Yeah.
I imagine like T and them in the other part of the state probably didn't even see a drop of rain, but at my house I had over 7.5 inches of rain today. Crazy.
Same here. Same here.
Crazy. And the temperature never got above 65. So we had a brief taste of fall. I had spaghetti for dinner tonight, but man, I was really wishing it was chilly. Just saying.
Well, maybe that's tomorrow night.
You know, there's always a chance. I want to say hi to some people that are online today. I see all of our regulars are on. That's good. Jared, James Caldwell, Chill Will Rocco, Kaylin Buckley, new member or new Patreon member. Good to have you on. Buffalo Lou is a BT Bourbon Together member. Glad to have you on. RJ States, welcome to the show. I'm going to say you're a BT guy too. Hey, you know what? I'm a BT guy too. I'm a Bourbon Together member myself. So that's really cool. to all of us get together, and it's going to be a fun night. I just have a feeling. So hey, what do you say we get this show started? Roger, does that sound good?
I'm up for it. Let's go.
All right, we're going to do things different. And a lot of you guys haven't been on the show, but a lot of you regulars have, and we like to keep things fresh. I don't want to get stuck in that same old mold of doing the same old thing every weekend or every Thursday. So tonight we're going to start with a review of the Mothman. Crittendens is one of our favorites. And hey, I'm going to tell you something, Roger. You know I got a lot of floor whiskey out there, right? In my
Oh, yeah.
shop. It's going to be a fresh cracker tonight.
Ooh.
I couldn't find the bottle that was open.
So you're
So
opening another one.
I'm going to open another one just for the show, or I'm going to attempt to, because sometimes these wax jobs can be something else. I may have to get up and actually go get a knife, or I'm going to have to bite through it because I've
Do
lost
not
my.
bite through it. I think you need a knife.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Lord, we're going to have danger, folks. Fortunately, Renee works at a dentist,
Look
so we
here.
don't have to worry
Here.
about it.
That's
Oh,
that's a legendary fresh crack.
yeah, and you got it all in your teeth, but that's okay. That's
Well,
okay.
the Mothman has glitter in it.
Yes, it does, and it's all in your mouth and all over the place. But hey, once you go, that's the way you got to go.
You know what? I've seen people crack fresh cracks and they had to use a corkscrew. Mr. Dominic Pelosi had to do that. You got to do what you got to do. And tonight I'm doing what I got to do. So
Yeah.
let's have a pour. That's what I say.
Wait,
Matt
which glass? This glass.
Crittenden makes some fine bourbon whiskeys. I don't think the Mothman would actually be considered it says bourbon whiskey finished in Boy, my eyes are bad here.
Muscatel.
Muscatel,
Naranja.
Naranja, port, and sweet vermouth wine casks.
Yep.
I mean, this thing has been multiple casks. Right here, I'm gonna set that cat. I don't know if you can see it. That cat's gonna sit right up there too right now. For right now, let's get a drink. Let's cheers.
Cheers.
It smells like wax to me.
Yeah, well, this one's got the 5-year age statement on it. It's 100. Mine's 111.74 proof.
Let me see what mine is.
Um,
Mine is 111.74 as well.
There you go. I know that recently one of our bourbon legends, Mr. Chillwill Rocco, he went down to lovely Mississippi to do some work and decided to take out a small bank loan and went on the express purposes of purchasing Crittenden's bottles. And I think he achieved his goal. If I remember right, he had almost 11 new bottles that he hadn't had, which Matt, he's had everything. So
we need to get Matt on the show and find out what he's got coming down the tube. We made that one run earlier in the year over to Mississippi just to get the double oak, or the double oak rather.
Yeah, and then we picked up that. I picked up that wheat single barrel that they had at Spillway. So, guys, there's a lot of different variations out there. Check the bottles. Check the labels, because there's some things that you think are one thing and they're actually something totally different.
That Mothman is so good. I remember the first one I picked up, me and you, I think it may have been on that same run.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what is the Mothman? And I bought one and you didn't, and then you regretted not buying that one. But you had I think you bought the sherry cask.
Yeah, I bought sherry cask ones. I like those a lot. But yeah, I ended up getting this Mothman. I'm getting two of the Mothman because of the bottle that you had when we went back and shared it. And don't overlook it. It's one of those things. It's a good thing to have, especially in Mississippi and over into Louisiana. I know Keith P is able to pick it up down there in Louisiana, but
And they are
support
they
the
are hard to
locals.
open, but I'm living proof that your teeth can multifunction.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you needed a multi-surface tool, and that's what you needed. You did it.
what are you picking up on the Moth Man, Roger?
Well, I can still pick up a little of that Naranja barrel, and that's one of the things I enjoy. It's got that little hint of orange in it. I picked that up a little bit. The vermouth is kind of a dry flavor to it, drying taste to it. That I think that kind of shows at the end of the palate. It dries at the end of the palate when you're drinking it.
And I'm getting that sweetness from the sherry cask as well.
It's muscatel, not sherry. And
Oh,
port.
I thought this was sherry.
No,
Sweet vermouth. Oh, maybe it was
sweet vermouth. Yeah,
the wine cask.
yeah. That Naranja is kind of imparts like an orange flavor to it. I really like Naranja based bourbons when they're finished that way.
I think you just like saying Naranja.
Yeah, that is. It's
I think is what it is.
but my favorite of those of Naranja that's a single is Driftless Glen. Does a Naranja based finished bourbon, and it is really, really good.
You're going to have to educate me now. Naranja, is that a type of wood or what is it?
It's type of wine, and
Oh, okay.
the way the flavors come off with the grapes and everything, and the fruit involved, it comes out. Again, it comes out as a like an orange flavor to it, but it's not an orange based wine or anything like that. So, but it's really, really good, and that's one of my favorite ones to use.
I would love to get. Poor Decision says I'm getting notes of wax and glitter. Yes, although the glitter has no flavor. It's more of a mouthfeel. I kind of hit it on the mid palate. The wax came right off on the nose, though. I'm going to tell you. Buffalo Lou says it is Naranja. Naranja. Let me see if I Naranja. Man, I'm telling you what, Roger's not really Southern. I mean, he lives in the South, but where are you originally born at, Raj?
Near St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay, so see, you guys probably call yourselves Southern, but you're really Yankees.
I'm Southern Illinois. We didn't associate with people up north, so.
Just saying. Okay, hey, while we're having this sip, can we talk about something? Normally we do a drawing every. Hold on, I've got wax down my chest here.
You're going to be pulling out wax for the next 24
hours. So normally what we do is we have a giveaway every weekend or every Thursday. My head is really stuck on the weekend right now. We're not going to do that tonight. We're not going to spin the wheel for samples. But what we are going to do is we're going to play a trivia game. Okay? But to play this trivia game, you need to be a subscriber, and you also need to have the ability to jump on the Discord. So you need to make sure your video is working, your audio is working. Now, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to pick the 5th person that comes backstage, okay? And so what I'm going to do right now...
On StreamYard. You mean on StreamYard, not...
What did I say?
You said Discord.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. I mean, hawk the Discord real quick, Roger, while we're...
I know, while we're there. I didn't say anything till you're getting to the point where you said we need 5 people. The 5th person will be in, but...
The 5th person that joins StreamYard. So what'll happen is if you guys follow that link, I will see you pop up here on my screen, and whoever is number 5 is going to play the game. And we're going to play the game next. So it's a trivia game. It's multiple choice. So you know you have a 1 in 4 chance of getting it right. And we're going to give away tonight. We're going to give away a flight board, a Bourbon Legends flight board, and I'm going to up it one more. I'm going to add 4 samples, Roger,
Oh my.
to that. I'm not going to provide the glasses, but I'm going to provide the pours. So instead of spinning the wheel, you're going to have to make your brain power work. Okay. Hey, I can tell you this right now. We've got one person. Oh, we've got 2 persons. We have 2 people on the backstage right now. We're waiting for the 3rd person, the 4th person, and then the 5th person will be in. Wonder who it's going to be. Did we lose the, I'm going to put the post out here again. I mean, I'm going to paste
The
it
link?
again. Yeah, the link again, since it's probably scrolling so fast. So that way everybody can get in. And I can tell you this right now. We've got the 3rd person in right now. So, we're close. We're close. Well, we need 2 more. Whoever is going to be the 4th person, we've got 3 right now. We need 2 more. The 2nd person's going to be going to get in. Oh, here we go. We got it. We got it. There's the 5th person. And the 5th person is Jimmy. All right, Jimmy, we're going to bring you online here. Okay, buddy?
We got it.
And think the other 4.
Yeah,
The other
hold
4.
on, Jimmy. I got to figure out how to do this.
Is
Oh.
Jimmy. All right, Jimmy, we're going to bring you on.
All right, Jimmy, you might want to turn your radio down there.
Hold on, Jimmy. I got
Or TV.
Your TV, whatever. Yeah, because we can't. You were feeding back. Okay. All
Gotcha.
right, Jimmy. Tell me a little bit about yourself. You are obviously from Bourbon Together, correct?
correct.
Well, good to have you on our show.
Cheers, brother.
Thank you. Cheers.
What are you drinking tonight, Jimmy?
Right now, starting with some Coke Zero, but I'll definitely be getting something in my Glen.
Okay, well, so now I'm in trouble here because we're gonna play this trivia game, and it is all about whiskey. Now, most of the time when people play this game, they've been drinking a little bit. I don't know if that helps them or if that hurts them, but anyway, we're gonna get rid of Roger here for a second, okay? Roger, go take a break. Jimmy, this is gonna be in me and you on the trivia game. Well, where's Jimmy go? Jimmy, there you are, Jimmy.
I'm here.
Okay. So here's how the game works, Jimmy. It's just easy, multiple guesses, you know. I'm going to ask you the question. No Googling, no chat GTP, and you've got like 10 seconds to answer the questions, okay? Are you feeling up to this, Jimmy?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. The first question is, I'm going to show it on the screen in case you need to read it as well. Which bourbon brand was originally created for the Japanese market in the 1950s? Was it Blanton's, Four Roses, Michter's, or Jim Beam?
I'm gonna go with Blanton's.
Blanton's. Okay, let's see. Is Blanton's the correct answer? It's Four Roses. That's the correct answer. So see, now you're learning, okay? That's okay, because here's how we play the game. There's 5 questions. I like to change the rules as we go. I'm going to try to help you out here. If you get 3 out of 5, you're going to win the big prize, okay?
Perfect.
If you don't get 3 out of 5, hell, we'll probably make you a winner of something else anyway. All right. Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. Number 2. Who founded Woodford Reserve? Was it Joseph A. Woodford, James Browning, Brown Foreman, or Foreman Schultz?
I think I'm gonna go with Foreman Schultz.
Foreman Schultz. Okay, everyone, in the comment section, please don't help Jimmy out. He's got it. No, I'm sorry. It's Brown Foreman.
Well, there
That's
we
the
go.
correct answer.
I'm 0 for 2.
That's okay. You just have no pressure, Jimmy. You just have to get the next 3 right. Okay.
Come on, ChatGPT.
No, you can't do that. All right. Number 3. Who is credited with introducing the sour mash process in Kentucky bourbon? Was it Jimmy Russell, Elijah Craig, James Beam, or Dr. James Crow?
I'm gonna
Now,
go with.
hold on, Jimmy. I'm going to give you a little help here, okay? Just think about this right here. Does that help you any?
I'm on the clock.
Time out. All right, Jimmy, what's your answer?
I'm gonna go with Elijah Craig.
Ooh, Elijah Craig, the father of bourbon. You were close, but you weren't close
No
enough.
cigar.
Dr. James Crow. All right, but hey, that's okay. Let's just finish out the game. Like I said, we'll give you a consolation prize anyway. Look, Jimmy doesn't turn the lights off. He's like, the party's over. I'm turning the
Oh
lights
no. Let's see.
Okay. This is an easy one, Jimmy. This was an easy one. I think you're going to get this one. Number 4. What does NAS stand for when you see it on a bourbon label? Does it mean non-aged specific, non-age statement, no age shown, or non-age significance?
Non-age statement.
Yes, Jimmy, you got that right. Non-age statement is, you did say statement, right?
Yes, sir.
I thought you did. Yeah, I was making sure. You got 1 correct, so very good job. All right. Last question, Jimmy. I'll tell you what, if you get this question right, I'll throw in everything, like I said before. Okay? No pressure, buddy. No pressure. What was the first distillery? Uh-oh. Now, look, I screwed up here. I didn't put the multiple questions, so I'm going to have to just tell you outright. All right. What distillery was the first to obtain a license after Prohibition ended? Was it Buffalo Trace, Heaven Hill, Maker's Mark, or Green River? I can run those by you again if you need. The first distillery to obtain a license, was it Buffalo Trace, Heaven Hill? What was the third one, did I say? Jim Beam? I think it was Jim Beam, or was it Green River?
Let's go with the old ad. Jim Beam.
And the correct answer is Heaven Hill. Good job, Jimmy. I'm glad you got that answer right, buddy. All right. Jimmy, I tell you what I want you to do. If you'll go to the bourbonlegends.com, and there'll be a little drop-down feature there that you can send me a message. You know, put your name and address and everything, and I'll get you that sample pack and the flight sent out to you. Okay, buddy?
Perfect.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Hey, thanks for coming on the game, and I can't help it now if Kris and Caleb kick you out of bourbon together.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I know Caleb and Kris are gonna be blowing up my messenger, so I'm happy to give some fodder for tonight.
There you go. There you go. Hey, thanks for playing the game.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. All right, moving right along. I'm going to bring Roger back in on the stage. Let's see if Roger's ready. He's not sleeping over a pumpernickel. No, there's Roger. Hey, Roger, what did you think about that game there? That was a pretty...
It was amazing how he got that last question correct. Even though you didn't even give that as a multiple choice, and the second time you said the things, I thought it was amazing that he got it right.
Like we've talked before, it's all about community, and I wanted to give something back. So you know how it is. I can't tell somebody on this game show, "No, you lost. Forget you." Yeah, and we're moving on now. If you're
No,
going to
no,
get to play
no.
the game, you're going to get to play the game.
Because
That's what I said.
everybody's what can be.
Everybody's a winner, but everybody can be a legend too.
Yes, everybody can be
And
legendary.
I've got a feeling after tonight, Caleb and Kris is going to make Jimmy a legend, if nothing else, by just giving him a hard time for not knowing all the answers. Okay, let's move on. All right, let's
Yeah,
talk about
we got
some news.
news. We got breaking news.
Well, it's kind of one of them's really breaking news. I've got one story out here I bet very few people know anything about. But
I would agree.
first of all, we're going to start off with some. You okay? Do I need to come over in the next room and give you the Heimlich?
No, no, I'm good. I'll
Okay,
live.
good. Sometimes that whiskey goes down the wrong pipe. All right. I don't know if any
Okay,
of you,
there we
I
go.
don't know if any of you guys could hear me or not. I thought we could talk over this, but I guess not. All right,
No.
Russell Baker's 13 is the new release there out of Jim Beam. I was saying to myself apparently that it's not one of my favorites. I don't really care for Baker's 13. I was asking you what your thoughts are on Baker's 13, Raj.
Well, I want to try this year's version. Last year's was just okay, and for the price, it has to be more than okay. It has to be something that kind of says wow, and I have to enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to trying it and tasting it, and maybe seeing if you might get a bottle. But that 149 SRP, when you can get the 7, 8, 9 year, which is very, very good, and then but again, everybody's his own. We know one person in this group that's going to get at least 2 bottles of it.
Yeah, I don't know if Daniel's online right now, but he probably will.
Yeah, I think Daniel will
He's
end
a
up with
big
a
fan
couple.
of it. I know Mike Brock is not a fan either. Now this is going to be hard to read because I did not have this planned. So we're going to see if we can read all this. It's got some
Oh yeah,
nosing, fruit, vanilla, and caramel.
it's
Palate,
warmly rounded.
a lot of oak, toasted nuts, vanilla, and fruity notes. That fits our group just right. Fruity
Yeah, I
notes,
think we
fruity
got all the fruity
nuts. I
notes.
mean, geez. And a warm, rounded, robust, and medium length finish. So
You know,
they say.
I love the notes that the distilleries put out there because it's got to be tough to come up with something new every single time.
Yeah. Fruity nuts. I liked that one.
Yeah,
All right, moving right along, we're going to go to the Four Roses limited edition pick.
the LE Four Roses
Yep.
2025.
Yep. And here again, I'm going to screw up, but it's going to be over me, and we're probably
That's
not going
fine.
to be able to read it.
Oh, we can read it.
Well, it's $249 is that, and I know it's a blend of 4 different bourbons there. I don't know which ones, but I know there's 4 of them. Here, I'm going to take my.
I'm pretty sure this is going to be something that's going to be available at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival this next weekend, and probably be one that they sell at the tables. Again, $249. It better be a really good bourbon. That's just what I'm saying. And it's only 109 proof. They call it barrel strength, but we all know that Four Roses does barrels that are much higher than that and higher proof, with maybe a little bit different age statements out of the single barrel program. So they hurt themselves because they make it hard to compete against the single barrel program. But yeah, it looks like it'll be released September 3rd, which is basically in line with the Kentucky Bourbon Festival this weekend. Apricot citrus alongside creme brulee, antique spiced oak. There we go, a new word I've never heard of. along with very soft and long finish on the palate. It better have all those things and more. I'm just saying. But there is a group out here that will love to have it and will be going for it.
Yeah, at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, I'm sure that's going to be a hot commodity. Um, Four Roses, I've never had that bottle. I've never had a limited edition like that, so I'd be
I've
curious to try it if I could get my hands on it.
I've tasted it and I've had it, and a couple of friends have bought bottles of it, and we were maybe it will catch us a little underwhelmed on what we got for the bottle because the single barrel proofs that are out there, which as you saw this last weekend, we've got a local store here that's got three of them and maybe four coming in soon. And it's hard to beat those because some of those were 12-year age stated.
That's right. I mean, and for the price difference, All right. Now we're going to try one that I would venture to say it's a new one. I don't know if any of us will ever see it. We're going to talk about it here. Well, let me get that out of my throat there. And it's the Burnt Tavern. Okay. Anybody heard of Burnt Tavern? Put it in the comments over here. I'd like to see if anybody knows anything about it. It's hard for me to see that and everything else at the same time. So I'm just going to start putting some notes out here, okay? The Burnt Tavern, Chip Tate was formerly of Balcones out of Texas, and he's teamed up with Royce Blevins and Bennett Clark to receive the William Burke Distillery, but they're an NPD, so it's a non-producing distiller. But they've teamed up, and this is going to come out. It's a smoky rendition, double-barreled, a 7-year-old bourbon in two unique, slowly toasted and charcoaled barrels. Okay, and then lastly, it's going to hit the shelves here this next coming month. 7-year-old premium whiskey bottled at 105 proof for a price of $69.99. If you guys see this, do you think this is something that you would want to go for? What do you think, Roger?
I've never heard of it. It seems like there's a lot of buzzwords thrown in there with the two unique slowly roasted charred barrels and the burnt in the smoky rendition. Kind of, I mean, if I'm going to do a smoky old fashioned, that's one thing. But putting it inside a smoke flavor inside the bourbon, I don't know. Maybe.
Well, they say it's a bourbon, so it's not really. I mean, it's a finished bourbon, but I guess it's a whiskey. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bourbon. They've finished it, but again, I think this is going to be at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. From what I read on the side, is it'll be something they have released there as well.
I would imagine after next or this weekend, there's probably going to be several new drops that we're going to start hearing about, and it seems like there's always one of them that's going to be the hot. What are we looking for? Everybody's going to be trying to get their hands on it and whatnot. So I think we're going to have some exciting times. I mean, we are rolling into that season. So
yeah, and we're going to have. There's more barrels that are available this year than they've ever been in the past. So from lots of different distilleries, Heaven Hill, Bardstown Bourbon Company. I think Wild Turkey has some. And there's a lot out there. So it's going to allow some people to play some games and see what they come up with.
Right. Speaking of playing a game,
Ooh.
Labor Day is coming up this Monday, and
we'd love to do true drawings that day. Let's just leave that alone. But
we'll get into that second. We actually have a potential of doing 3 drawings this weekend. Tomorrow night, we actually are going to go on. We're not going to do live or anything, but what we are going to do is we're going to do the Patreon giveaway. So if you were a Patreon member for the last month, you are eligible to get this Heaven Hill bourbon grain to glass, and I'll probably just shoot a video of the wheel, spinning around and do that. We don't want to go live every time we do something, especially since we are going live on Monday night, Labor Day night. Where did I lose that graphic? Right there it is again. So now listen, this is still up for grabs. It's going to be up for grabs right up until the time we get ready to go live. And we're not going to go live at 8 o'clock, and we're not going to drink, and we're not going to carry on. We're not going to have a full show. But we will probably spin the wheel around 8:10 to 8:15-ish for the OFIT 7. And as you can see, it's one ticket or one chance for $5, 3 chances for 10, 10 chances for 20. And if you take your telephone out and you scan that little Venmo, that is how you can get in on this little raffle. And all the proceeds go back into the fund of being able to give away bottles and samples and pay for production costs, of renting this nice piece of software. I guess that's called renting it. You don't really, when you have to pay every month, I guess that's renting it. But anywho, you get the Old Fitz bottle, 7-year with the dress. So a lot of people are looking for that dress. I don't know what they're going to put in it, whether they're going to put bottle caps in it or money when they go play poker. I don't know, but there is your chance.
It helps to keep your bourbon warm. That's what I think. Get wintertime, it gets cold around here, and got to keep your bourbon warm.
You could snuggle up with it like a sock if you wanted.
Yeah.
Now, you were mentioning, Roger, one more thing, and then you said, we might get to give this away as well. For the 300th subscriber to the channel, you're giving away a Peerless store pick. Doesn't cost you anything.
Really good store pick.
It is a very good store pick. I've told the story before. I was up at Peerless last October, got to drink this straight out of the barrel, and the store pick was out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and I would call that grocery store at least once a week for about 3 months until they finally dropped it. Then they called me and said, "Hey, Mr. Imboden, we have word here that we need to call you." And I'm like, "Well, I've already got about 5 bottles of this." So anyway, 300 subscriber, we're going to open this thing up. Not sure how we're going to do it yet. It's not going to be 1 out of 300 chance. I mean, some people subscribe and they never come and even watch the show or participate. So we're going to put this out there and let everybody send in their name, and then we'll spin the wheel again. So your chances are going to be much greater than 1 in 300. I can tell you that. We're just going to do it when we get 300. That's our milestone that we're hitting. So,
yep. And again, 287 as of right now. So we're
287.
13
Okay,
shy.
well, we're very close. I tell you what, Roger, we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. If we got to 300 by Monday, we could just do a double drawing on Monday live.
Yeah, and it might even be a triple drawing. You never know.
I could set it up over the weekend.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's time that we bring our guests on. But first, I need to go hydrate a little bit, and I need to, visit the little boys' room. So everybody, I'm going to give you about a minute. That would probably be a good chance to run, make you a new pour, drain your bladder, whatever you need to do. But we'll be right back, okay, with Caleb and Kris from Bourbon together. And you're not going to want to miss it. It'll be fun, I think. All right, we'll be right back, folks. All right, guys, it's good to be back here. And right now it's time for our special guests. I know a lot of you guys are into different bourbon clubs. You know, myself, I'm probably in no less than 15 or so. But one of the best ones out there is Bourbon Together. And I know many of you guys are also in there. A special shout out to Leighton for doing that Detling pick with them. So without further ado, we're going to bring on our guests, Caleb Walters, Kris Gaskins from Bourbon Together. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good, man. Really appreciate you.
Absolutely. Appreciate being on. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'd love to have you. There's so many clubs out there right now. You guys have had a really, really good run. I mean, I'm mad at you, honestly, because I couldn't get that Detling pick. Thankfully, one of my buddies, Daniel Beasley, he gifted me one, and so I think he gave one back to you guys, and he kept one, and he gave me one, or I bought it, and that's really unheard of for Daniel, because Daniel likes to have two of everything. So anyway,
Yeah, it's like he's like, in the ark, he's got to have two of everything before he'll drink one of them.
That's
One of my
pretty much
sayings.
Rule of thumb. Yeah, two of everything is rule of thumb. It's good to have a backup to the backup sometimes, but rule of thumb is to have two of everything.
I hear you.
Yeah, one of my sayings is you don't have one unless you got two.
There you go.
I like that philosophy. My pocketbook, not so much, but it is what it is.
Well, guess that means, Craig, you got to get another King of Kentucky. Oh God.
Yeah.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Yeah, that King of Kentucky, that's a whole other show right there.
We got a whole show on that.
That's right. Well,
Don't day drink.
I said it's good you ended up with the Detling because, I know you're aware of it. The thing flew off the shelf. It was, what was it, a 42-second sellout of 224 bottles.
Yeah.
But thankfully, we had nearly 30-something members in the group that were willing to let go of a spare to give back to members that didn't get in. So that was pretty cool to see some people get it that didn't have the opportunity to get it.
Absolutely. That's what this community really is all about. It's sharing together and building up the whole community. And that's a great way to do it. I know you guys, we're going to talk about that a little bit later, that you guys are giving back to the community and more than just bottles for everybody. But I wanted to start out light, so I have a question. Either one of you can jump in or you can both take it either way. But if Bourbon Together had an official bottle mascot, okay, what would the official bottle mascot be of Bourbon Together?
That's a good question.
That stumped them right off the bat, Roger.
Yeah, let me see what Kris comes up with.
I think Caleb had a pretty good one. We didn't actually get to use because we're big on the stickers because Bourbon Game's all about having a sticker on the bottle. But Caleb had somebody I think create Winnie the Pooh putting his hand in the honey pot, and I kind of think of 100 Acre that whole group as like a family, and I kind of feel like that's the way we are too, and kind of huddle around Winnie the Pooh. So that sticker didn't make it. So if anybody's seen it, somebody in the group, they know what we're talking about. But it kind of hits home.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Caleb, do you agree with Kris on that one?
Yeah, I don't think I can argue. Me and Kris have went back and forth on a lot of things as far as, what the group is, why the group is where it's at, and why we created the group. So atmosphere, togetherness, family. So yeah, I can agree with the mascot for sure.
That's just one. We could have fun.
There's
club.
multiples that we could go into depending on which level we wanted to go to. But yeah, there's quite a few, and I think I could throw another one at you that hasn't made the scene that Kris knows where I'm going with this. But
well, go ahead, throw it at us.
It's a very respectful thing, and it's when we first started this, me and Kris both were big on it's about the community, it's about the juice, it's not about the money. So that's we kind of had a Joker sticker with cash burning in the background, and
hold on.
He's got the sticker. It's something to the effect it's about the bourbon, not the money. So we haven't found the right bottle to put it on or the right place.
Well, we thought we did, but We sent this barrel to another store, and this was the bottle I wanted to put it on.
There you go. Well, you know, any
Love it.
hobby that you do is going to burn through some money.
Yes.
Whether it's golf, whiskey, hunting, fishing, yeah. I often tell Roger, you know, just like this little YouTube channel thing here, if you'd have asked me 6 months ago if we'd have had this YouTube channel and this thing, I'd have been absolutely not. Now, since then, I've had to buy a new computer, new audio, video equipment. You know, it's a hobby. If it was a job, I'd be fired.
Yeah. Facts.
You
Yeah.
know?
Well, it
Speaking
takes
of the
money to have
club,
fun.
the one thing I was going to ask is, did you guys expect it to grow as fast as it has, and has it surprised you? Or
All right, I'll lead off. Long story short, quick answer: no. To do we expect this quickly? Did we expect this eventually? Yes, but did we expect it this quickly? No. I always stick to the same answer as January of 2024. Kind of had a mission and a vision, and one night I reached out to Kris and kind of told him with the direction I was headed and what I wanted to do, and what I thought would work and why I thought it would work and what I thought we could do with it, and just kind of pitched the idea to him and asked if he would come on board. And ever since then, it's just been me and him and my wife running things behind the scenes, and we feel like that's it's a great team. It's a small team, but I think that's beneficial as well. But no,
Absolutely.
we didn't expect it to go here this fast. We did expect it to eventually get to this point because of the model that we had in place. But no, it blew up a lot faster than we expected.
I guess you have to contribute that, number one, not only to, I mean, you're not going to brag on yourself, so I probably have to, but I mean, good leadership, number one, is in place. But number two, it has to be the members. I mean, the members make or break your best ideas or your worst ideas. So I'm sure you guys contribute it mainly to your members, right?
Yeah, I'll tag team a little bit on what he was saying, because what he didn't mention is when he had the vision of starting this group, it was never about the number of people that we had in the group. It could have been 300 and we'd still be just as happy and doing what we're doing now. We also don't want to be one of those 3,000, 4,000 member groups. You know, we are all about members being active, members giving back to the group, giving suggestions, coming up with new ideas, you know, finding distilleries we've never heard of. You know, it's, hey, I found this bottle on one of my vacations. You got to try it. They send us samples and like, yeah, I'm calling that place up right now. But if we had one of those 2,000-3,000 member groups, you don't, that kind of interaction doesn't exist. And so we do things like inactive members, you know, we let them go and we bring in people that are on the wait list. That way we keep the people that want to be there. They're engaged. They're part of the group. They're wanting to know about the next pick. They're wanting to know about what's the group doing next when we're doing another takeover. So yes, it is about the members, and the members drive the quality of the group.
yeah, that answers the question and how you get it started. So yeah,
I mean, that's how it usually goes in these lives. You know, you have a list of questions and half of them get answered. So then you just have to start making them up as you go. I think that's the spontaneity of it, the thing that's good. But hey, listen, we're into this thing nearly 10 minutes and I'm getting thirsty. Should we have a pour together or what?
Yeah, what are you thinking?
Well, do you want to try number one?
I
I
suggest
have
we
it
go,
poured up right
yeah,
here.
I suggest we go 1, 2, 3, and that's we kind of put them in that order to start off a little bit lighter, a little bit easier, finish up with the Detling at the end.
Do you remember what number one is? Because I don't have my notes with me. That's the
King's
a
Family
weird-
Wheat.
King's Wheat. Okay. Well, let's have a pour.
Absolutely.
Now I've
Man.
had the King's Family before,
You have not?
and I have.
Oh.
I have. I was lucky enough when there's a store here locally. They got a closeout of a bunch of a certain batch of the bourbon, and it was $9.99 a bottle. which was crazy. And I've ended up with 6 bottles of it because I was like, it was just, you get a distributor that gonna let go of something and they put a silly price on stuff. So
That's right.
it was well worth it.
Which batch did you send them? Because I've got return.
It was return. Yep. King's Family Wheat, the return. And to and to piggyback on what Kris said a few minutes ago as well about being member driven I mean, like I said, it's a wait list. We don't never share the number on the wait list, but it's a significant wait list, and we do it to where we purge and then we allow members in, and then we purge and allow members in. But it's 100% member driven. I mean, me and Kris kind of steer the ship, but if I were to tell you that I monitored the page daily, I would be lying to you, because the members pretty much monitor themselves and they handle everything on the back end by themselves. So it's not as daunting of a task to monitor the page as you would think, because like I said, it's when you've got members that you handpick, and you've got trusted members, and you've got members that understand that everybody's here for the same reason, they keep it clean without us having to keep it clean.
That's good. You get rid of the riff-raff, right? Get rid of those.
The first 6 months was a little bit more hands-on, but after that, the car started driving itself.
That's what we're looking for here, but sometimes that's hard, to drive the car when you're having to do video like this. YouTube's one thing. Facebook's one thing. Doing these shows like this, it's very hands-on. I don't, if I had to do it all over again, I don't know if I would choose this route, but dadgummit, it's fun sitting here getting together and having a drink with old friends and new friends alike. Now, that being said, this was one of your picks, right? You guys did this pick.
Yes, sir. This is a blend that me and Justin King, JK, did at King's Family Distillery last year. We sat down and went through several different barrels and played around with percentages, and eventually got to this particular bottle.
And there's no honey finish on this.
No honey finish at all.
It just tastes like honey.
It's you should be picking up the sweet weed, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of velviness.
It's very good.
Real small hint of like a honey green apple coating. It's there's a lot
I picked up on and everybody's tastes are different. Everybody,
right.
It's the experience that you've had before that brings you back. So many times when we've been doing a blind or doing a review, and I will get like a honeysuckle. So I get more of a honeysuckle, just that essence, of honey on it.
But that's common in a King's Weeder, that the honeysuckle, the vanilla, green apple. We pick up a lot of green apple in a lot of the barrels that we get from King's Weeded. So those three things are very common, along with the velvet mouthfeel. So the honeysuckle is definitely there, and I think the majority of the people pick.
I get like a honey nut Cheerio, as if you took green apple slices and put it in your honey nut Cheerios, and then that little aftertaste. It's like, oh man, there it is. Let's go.
Now, what did you say the proof was again on this? I'm sorry, Roger. Cut you off there, but what was the proof on this?
It's going to shock you, but it should be 150. It's 115 even.
115. Okay.
115 even is what we come up with. We had like I said, we played between 5 or 6 different barrels that day, and stayed a couple hours and went through this and went through that, and this percentage to that percentage, and then we winded up hitting on what we hit because it covered all the bases. We wanted the sweet wheat, we wanted the vanilla, we wanted the little oaky finish, we wanted a little proof but not too much proof, because I don't know how in depth you are with King's Family Weeded, but it's the home run is between 113 to 116. That's the proof range that it really pops off. So that's kind of where we wanted to land up, and that's after a couple hours, this is what we came up with, and I think it was 262 bottles of it that we moved.
And this one has more oak than the first batch did.
Yeah, our group, it's very King's Family is very popular within the group. They buy, anything from the hazmat stuff to the regular weeded. We had people that, put in orders with a gentleman in the group that went that way and stopped by the distillery. And So, do you guys have any other Kings family that you're looking at, or have done in the past, or are doing in the future?
Single barrels or just releases? Because Caleb gets quite
Are you
frequently.
talking about picks
Just
that we're
for the
involved in?
clubs,
Or?
pick for
No,
the
no, no.
club.
Just
Yeah.
he's talking about
Oh,
the
okay.
Bourbon Legends group.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because if you're asking what I have as far as King's family, I've got 19 or 20 bottles up there on the shelf. But
Yeah.
no, what I guess I can let it be known, and I can release it. The group already knows. JK's already made it known. He's posted in our group as well. So we are working on officially the first ever King's Weeded toasted barrel pick.
Nice.
It's been in a toasted barrel now for a few months, so I'll be up in October to check on it and see how that's going. But it's one of those things, man. We've got a when I say JK, I'm referring to Justin King. We've got a really good working relationship with JK, so it's one of those things that I can reach out, or he'll reach out and ask me, hey, are you interested in this, or what are you looking for 6 months down the road? And we kind of just piece a few things together and never know what we've got coming. But right now, that's the next thing in the works with him.
Now I do have a question, being that they are from Gatlinburg area, right, of Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Is this a Tennessee whiskey? Do they?
No,
I don't know much. They don't do the Lincoln County process there, or
what you're drinking there is MGP weeded, that is aged and bottled and housed at King's Family Distillery. Now, some of their stuff, the Tennessee whiskey, the Tennessee Standard is the Tennessee whiskey. So you get different things. They're bringing in barrels from all over, doing different things with different barrels from all over.
okay.
Yeah, I listened to an interview with them, and very, very interesting people. The way that they got started, and they've kept it going throughout the years.
JK and Carr is really good people, man. They're putting boots on the ground and making it work up there for sure.
It's good to have a relationship with somebody like that.
Hey, Caleb, I have a question. We were talking about picks earlier, and this is kind of a two-part question. Number one, how many picks have you guys done in those 2 years?
We're coming up on a year and a half with the group now, January to August of 25. So it's been roughly a year and a half so far. Kris may can tell you exactly, but I think we're around 14 right now that we've done in that year and a half. We've got another 5 or 6 planned for the remainder of this year, and then 2026 is pretty much 90% booked all the way out already as well.
Now, I'm going to turn this into a 3-tier question.
15 or 16 if you count the current drops that are coming out next month.
15 or 16.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the follow-up to that first question would be, are all your picks like your Detling that you did that time where you had a group come in, or are you just limiting it to a certain amount of people, or you just you two picking, or how does that usually work?
It's different every time depending on the distillery, who it is, and what's allowed. Sometimes me and Kris both are able to actually attend each pick. Sometimes our schedules don't work to where we have to have samples sent to us. We request particular barrels, particular profiles from everybody that we work with. So if it is a Detling style pick, or if it's a broad branch, or if it's striped pig, yes, we'll have Detling allows up to 8 people, so we'll bring in 8 people. Striped pigs was a takeover. Old Dominic was a takeover, so we had 42 and 43 at both of those. And then on the picks that me and Kris have sent to us, sometimes they send enough to where it's just me and Kris and we have to make a decision. Sometimes they send enough to where we can send out 2, 3, 4, 5 members in the group, and we all get on a live together and collectively go through it and kind of make a decision that way.
That's really cool. And that gets me to the actual question that I was going to ask. See how this is how things go when you do these lives. So have you ever had to break up a bourbon debate, like when you're sitting there and it's like, I like bottle A, I like bottle C, and it gets heated and somebody, like, you have to step in and say, whoa, time out, guys. Let's refocus. Has that ever happened?
No debate, no heated conversation. Like I said, I can sound like a broken record. I mean, me and Kris have dialed in what we do, and we pretty much it's an agreement 99% of the time after me and him try. Now, when you get to these places and you've got 35, 40 people, we have a certain way we handle everything. We nobody collectively discusses their favorite bottle over anyone else. It's all done with a poker chip or a number, and you just record your favorite number, and once it's all over with, we collect those, and then we have
Okay.
discussion. So it's different things we do, and we swap it up, and then sometimes we'll have people discuss. I mean, we've never had a heated debate. I've had to break a tie before, which isn't always the best case scenario when you've got 6-6 or whatever you want to call it. But no, as far as heated debates, unless Kris can think of one, I don't remember one.
No, there was two where it could have gone either way, and we chose to, because they both had, big flavors, and we went with the one with the finish. So it was all about individuals and their preferences, but nobody at the end of the day was disappointed with the pick. They were just like, oh, well, that one had, a lot of front palate, but the other one had the really long finish. So it was more like nobody was disappointed. We broke up a fight. It was just like a torn group between what they preferred.
I mean, it's good to
Roger.
sometimes have that, split where you have two barrels that everybody like, or, at one group, then you always have that dichotomy, and it's good.
When Caleb was talking about going in and using the poker chip, I couldn't help but think like when the Pope is elected, right? And they're all in the conclave, and then they pass around these poker chips, and then when there's a decision out of the distillery, white smoke rises above the roof. I mean, that would be good. I think y'all should go that route.
Yeah.
We'll keep that one in the books.
Yeah, we'll add that one to the tally book for sure.
Hey, I want to be on
that.
that.
That felt like striped pig.
Yeah, and then there's been times, I mean, the latest, which is the next one that you're going to sample, the latest striped pig, or the last striped pig that we did, which is the Ascot Award winner. Me and Kris went back and forth over on that thing for 4 or 5 days before we actually made the decision. We sampled and took notes and talked to each other, and then couldn't make a decision and said, let's come back tomorrow and do this again. And we went back, and me and him went through it again, and we come up with a different bottle. And then the third day we went back in, and it was a debate between he and I on what we wanted and what we were looking for. But in the end, we've learned that ultimately it's about the people that's buying the bottles. But we've learned that the people that are buying the bottles want the same bottles that we want. So that makes it a little easy on our end. So, but that's probably been the most debated pick that we did, as far as how much time it took and how in depth we went on it.
Cool. I love these insights. We're learning things that most people never hear of. So
yeah, there's other ones like we did Copper and Cast. We had it finished in an STR or shaved, toasted, and recharred barrel. That was a wine barrel, and we picked the bourbon that was going to go into it. So we picked a high rye MGP, and they sent us like 12 different ones. So that was a lot of fun. But then it was going to get finished, and so Steven kept sending us, okay, what you think now? And then 6 weeks later, sent us, what you think now? And then we got terrified that we went too long, and we lost our strawberry note. So that's a lot of fun going into picking a barrel and then watching a barrel age and progress also.
So now that you guys have been doing this, Kris, for a little while, and you guys getting into this, and it gets moving, on the other side to it of bourbons that you used to like, or you liked when you first got started with this, is there any bourbon that you've kind of, your palate's outgrown, that you've decided, just don't go back to it that often? Is it not something because you've got exposed to all these various picks and various things like that?
Yeah, I definitely think my Russell single barrels, I think I probably have 15 of them, maybe more, somewhere in that neighborhood. I couldn't get enough of them during, COVID. If I saw one, I was buying it. It didn't matter. Just give it to me. And now I'm like, I see them sitting. I'm like, I don't want that one anymore. It's not that it's not good. I've got plenty of them. I just know that I know the profile of that. I know what I'm going to get out of it. It could vary in a slight range, but now I'm looking for way different notes for different things.
your palate has Well, Roger is a wine guy. What do you call that, Roger? When you like, I know you used to start out liking sweet wine, and then you changed to a drier wine.
It evolves. You
Yeah,
evolve
it just
into
changes. Yeah.
the flavors and the different palate things you look for on a particular bourbon. And I find myself going back to things that I hadn't had for a while, and then pulling that bottle back out and, oh, why haven't I been drinking this for a while? And you know, because your palate changes as you go along, and you develop. You're like, hey, I used to really love this bourbon, and now I haven't drank it in like a year and a half. So,
That's me
Caleb, do
with
you have any?
that's me
It
with the
definitely
double oak
happens.
bourbons. Go ahead, Caleb. I'm sorry.
No, I was just agreeing that it definitely happens. There's things that either for the good or the bad that you used to love, and now you still enjoy it. I mean, it's still enjoyable, but it's just not what you thought it was at one time. Or there's bottles that you used to didn't care that much for, and now that you've developed a more intense and a more in-depth palate, now you're going back into it and you're picking up things that you never picked up before. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
it can go both ways. You can lose interest for one or gain interest for one. So it's cool to see how it evolves over time.
I
What
do
about
like the gain interest idea. The gained interest idea, because give me something, an aged pot still product. I would hate that years ago.
Yeah.
But an aged pot still product now, I'm like, oh my gosh, let me find that.
Yeah. What about proof points? Do you guys find that the more you drink, the higher the proof points you go for? Or what's your sweet spot?
Man, and like I said, I'll say what I got to. We both kind of agree on this. I don't drink for the label and I don't drink for the proof. It's what it does to me. It's the palate. It's the finish. It's the experience. I prefer, if I'm drinking something I've never had before, I prefer not to see the label, the age, or the proof, because I think that's very biased and it leads to making decisions that probably shouldn't be made or that you regret being made later. So really, proof is proof. I mean, you can drink some stuff at 60 to 70 proof and get way more flavor out of it than you can drinking it at 120 proof, just because of the simple fact that you can either taste the impurities in it or you can taste the explosiveness in it that higher proof sometimes will hide. So there's really no set point or, hey, it's got to be 122 or it's got to be 110. But if you're going to ask me what I enjoy, I'm a 112 to 120, 112 to 124 ish. That's my sweet spot if I'm looking for proof. But I'm good with anything as long as there's flavor there.
I'm kind of like you. The greatest equalizer in whiskey is a blind. Things just like when we tried the King's wheat there. I didn't really pick up on the apple until you said green apple, and then I'm like, oh yeah, hold on, I do get a little bit of, that green apple flavor. So, like you said, some people, especially in our group, the Bourbon Legends group, there's a lot of talk about, high proofers, like the higher the proof, the better, hazmat and all this crap. I say drink what you like, and if you like that proof, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. I just draw the line at like anything below like 87. I'm just kind of like,
I can agree, and I'll plug JK again here real quick, just because it's a good friend of mine, and he's taught me a few things over the years. And if you really want to dig into an alcohol, if you really want to dig into a whiskey or anything, if you want to really do a deep dive, knock it down to 40 to 50 proof and sample it there first, and then work your way up. And you'll find if there's some impurities, you're going to find it at 40 proof that you won't find at 110. So work your way from that 40 to 60 range, go up 10 proof points, and then find that ideal spot that you want to be in, because it can be hidden, but once you drink it at 40 proof, it's no longer hidden. It's going to come out. So it's just one of those things, it's I agree. Anything below 87, 85, I don't tend to enjoy it. So it's got to have a little bit of a bite to it, enough of a bite to let me know that I'm drinking a glass of whiskey, of course. But so yeah, I'm that 112 to 124. I think Kris is kind of in that same range, but I can't speak for him.
Now I'm gonna assume you guys are neat, right? Or do you guys ever take it on ice?
Well,
I'm
an old
strictly
fashioned on
neat.
Friday night, but 98% of the time I like it neat.
I agree there. Speaking of neat, that's how I'm drinking today. Do you guys want to crack into the number 2 there, the striped pig?
Have either of you ever had striped pig?
I have never heard of striped pig until today, to be honest with you.
I've
You're in,
seen the bottles, but I've never had it.
you're jumping up in proof. You're going to the 128 to 130ish range on this.
128.6.
Yep, it's gonna have some bite to it. You're gonna experience some cherry cola, some coffee, little white pepperish bite, but it's there, and it's what, like I said, it's one of those that when it drops into groups, it's a quick seller, and this was the Ascot, so it was
This is an 8-year OZ Tyler barrel that Striped Pig purchased, and it's been there for a few years. And one thing about Pixie, she's very interesting and so much fun to be around. She's a personality, let me tell you. But they have a train that runs twice a day by their distillery, and she swears up and down that this train vibrating the building just every day for about 20 minutes, shaking them barrels like this, has something to do with the impact of the flavor, because we picked those Tyler barrels before and they don't stand up to the pig.
I hope nobody in the industry is watching what you just said, or everybody's going to be putting vibrators on their barrels now.
That's
You've been watching too much WNBA.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, we want to shout out to our good buddy there, who is well, Roger, what is Tom Matt Blackjack's actual title there with the Dream?
With the Dream, I think he's head of all things involved with the general production of the day-to-day everything.
Painting,
He gets
painting
involved
courts,
with everything.
cleaning up green objects flown from the seats. Yeah, we have went deep diving into that. Trust me.
He's a regular Dwight.
Yeah, but he has to deal with it on a daily basis, because he has to, he's gotten the FBI involved in this whole situation. So,
So before you both take a sip, well,
there he goes.
Sorry.
I'm sure the both of you have experienced OZ Tyler before. You've come across some OZ barrels. This is completely different. It's an 8-year OZ Tyler, but like Kris said, it's spent the last 4.5-ish years in Charleston, South Carolina, aging in the heat and the different salted environment off in Charleston, South Carolina. Said so train next door, which we know it's there. We've heard it. We've been there when it's come by. The impact it has, I don't know, but I do know that this particular OZ at 8 years is completely different than any OZ we've had before.
This is not an OZ that I've ever had before, because I've had several of them. Having family from Owensboro and being up that way, and when they switched over to Green River and all that, and being involved there and knowing all the different things, and it is definitely different. I've never had anything that tasted like this. This is.
I would hate to call it off profile, because it seems like that gives a bourbon or a whiskey a bad connotation, but I mean, it is off profile compared to, OZ Tyler. So
well, I'm glad you went there, because that leads into that's kind of our MO. That's kind of what we like.
Who we are.
It's who we are. When we reach out to these places, or they reach out to us, we don't want something that somebody can go in their liquor store and replicate. We want something that's going to represent your brand, but something that's going to set you off in a different way. Now, this is on profile for Striped Pig, because 95% of the barrels that you taste at Striped Pig have this profile. Some have a little bit more cherry cola, some have a little bit more white peppers, some have a little bit less of the mocha chocolate coffee that you pick up in this one, but it's there. The graham cracker is very well known in a lot of the Striped Pig. So it's off profile for OZ, but it's on profile for Striped Pig storing OZ barrels for 4 to 5 years in Charleston, South Carolina.
So that's a high proofer. I mean, what I would consider a high proof whiskey, but no hug, no ethanol on the nose at all. Now, if I was drinking high proofers, like like we say, all these people want to be high proof. This is what I want in a high proofer.
Right. So that's why we actually just dropped our first hazmat that we've ever picked, and the reason we picked it is because when we were going through it, we didn't know the proofs up front, or I didn't tell Caleb proofs up front, and we got to it. He's like, "Man, this is a flavor monster. What is this?" And I said, "Guess the proof." And he's like, 118, 122, something like that. And I was like, "It's 142." And
those are those rare barrels, whether it's the train tracks next to it or the sun hitting a certain spot or the wind, whatever. But I mean, those are the things that are just hard to replicate,
Right.
I tell you what, I really enjoyed that. I now because I think I've seen it on the shelves at a couple of stores. They have some of the other ones available in Memphis.
Mhm.
So if you can't get the pick and the pick's already gone, but if you see striped pig, go out and try it.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's a sleeper right now. I think people are going to start finding out about it. We submitted it. Caleb's like, "Hey, let's submit one to the Ascots," and I was like, "I got one backup." He's like, "We got one hidden away for us. I'll get it to you." So I had to submit my backup to the Ascots, and I was like, "I'm gonna cry."
And I was hinting at it earlier. The really cool thing is me and Kris do a lot of things differently, and that's some of it. It's too much to get into. Some of it's too far in depth, but we agree on a lot of things. But the really cool thing was Striped Pig. We were the first ever barrel pick that came out of Striped Pig's facility. There was never a barrel pick until we came in, done ours. After we done ours, there was like 19 back to back to back within a 6-month time frame. Now you've got big guys going in doing the barrel picks. She's got stores coming in doing barrel picks. Well, we went from that to we were the first group to ever do a distillery takeover at Striped Pig. So we've got that relationship to where we went up there. There was 37 of us or whatever in the distillery, did that. Then, now we've got some things cooking with them as far as the first ever Striped Pig double oak barrel. We picked a barrel while we were there, chose to have it double oaked, and hopefully around January or so we'll be releasing that. So it's a cool story. It's kind of interesting to get in at ground zero like that and see where they go and what they evolve and develop into. So it's been fun to be around for sure.
Do you guys ever smell the glass, nose the glass once it's empty?
Empty glass is very important.
Okay, I may be way off. I'm going to say this live TV. I may, have to leave here with my head tucked between my tail. I'm getting like a tea on it, like a tea leaf or something. Do you guys get any of that on that?
I actually could pick that up mid to back palate sometimes, like black tea, like my grandma used to make.
And I'm glad I went out on a limb there. If you guys would have looked at me like I had alien or something behind me, I'd been in trouble. But
now I don't know, if any of you've had it. Not everybody drinks energy drinks or whatever, but there is a energy drink out there. It's the Monster Energy, the Mocha Monster Energy, and I think
I know where you're going.
I think if you've had it before, you'll realize where this is. That you pick up a little bit of this. It has that Monster Mocha Energy flavor to it, coffee profile flavor to it.
Yeah, remove the creamer from it, and that's the exact thing I get from it.
All right, let's move along, guys. We running long here, but you guys got a little bit more time? I'm having a hell of a good time.
I'm free for a bit, yes, sir.
So, Caleb, you were saying earlier that this Facebook page just really runs itself, and that's a good thing. But what do you do? What do you guys do to keep it running smoothly?
What is it you do around here?
You want me to answer or Kris?
You? I don't care. No, I'm just like, what do you guys do to keep it going smooth?
Man, look, honestly, I don't know how often Kris does it, but once a week, once every 4 or 5 days, I'll do a deep dive. But I think because to be honest, simply the fact that we're so active, both of us, we're both posting, we're both reading, we're both commenting, we're both interactive in the group. We see 90% of the stuff that comes through as it comes through live. So it's kind of like we monitor it without monitoring it, kind of thing. So there's nothing I do specifically behind scenes. I don't go in and click on people's names and go see what they're posting, or I don't do any of that. I don't think Kris does either. I mean, we've had a time or two to where we've had a member reach out, DM both of us and say, hey, such and such just posted something that doesn't look right. I don't know who that is. And it was a scammer that got in somehow through the system, and then we went in and deleted. But as far as constantly monitoring or anything in depth specific, that I don't do anything. I can't answer for Kris.
We have some group rules, basically some guidelines that people, when they join the group, they know. So we basically say the focus is bourbon together. It's about the group. So if you're going to post something here, it needs to either be about bourbon, it needs to be about the family, it needs to be about the group. We are not a secondary market. Do not bring that to our page. We don't want to see anything about it. If you are going to assist somebody with something, that you can do that in private. You can post that you're looking for something, but no moving bottles on the page. That's not what we're about. And we don't flip any of our stuff. If we see you flipping it, gone. And no politics. So everybody, we know that there's the diversity in all of the groups, but this isn't the place for it. So we think that that's a big, like a dividing point in the country, and that's not what we want the group to be. So if we can remove that, it seems to keep the people really, really engaged.
There's plenty of Facebook groups out there that if you want to discuss politics, religion, and everything else, you can find them.
Absolutely.
100%.
This is not the place. Yeah. And that's what we try to do with our page as well, is try to mediate, and just, hey, this is about a common consensus that we all love the bourbon, and we want to stay positive with it. We try not to introduce a lot of negative stories to our shows, because there's enough negativity out there in the world. We don't need any brought into our little fun group here. But
that's I'm glad you, like I said, real quick, I'm glad you touched on that, because that's a big part of what we do and why we do what we do. We try to promote positivity. We do not promote negativity at all. We don't like to see it in a group. As I've mentioned before, not every brand or not every distillery that me and Kris deal with, we don't pick a barrel with them. It just is what it is. But you will never see us negatively promote those guys or demote those guys or say anything negative about it. We feel that if we can promote positivity within the group, for the group, for other places, other distilleries, help the less fortunate, build a camaraderie, build something that people want to be involved in. There's enough of negativity in the world. It's time to be positive and help where you can help. And I mean, we're 668 members. I mean, it's not a large number, but we're doing large things with small numbers. And if we can continue to help the less fortunate and be positive, then I think we're moving in the right direction.
that kind of answers the question that, yeah, that kind of answers the question I had with a lot of it is, I think clubs like this definitely influence the brand's reputation and the consumer loyalty to that brand, and also get people to try different things, which is the key thing, because a lot of people don't step outside of their box,
Right.
You guys, I think, with the picks, are allowing them to step outside and say, hey, have you tried this? Have you looked at this? And that makes a big difference.
I can't tell you how many people messaged us and said, hey, man, I don't even go out hunting anymore for bottles. I just wait for your picks to drop, because I'm not going to find anything out of my hunt that's better than the pick.
And nothing against the legacy distilleries. I mean, they all have their place. They all still make great juice, but we wanted to advertise and branch out and let people know about Striped Pig. Let people know about King's Family. Let people know about Detling. Let people know about Sugarfield. It's just there's a lot of places out there that's making some really good stuff that's non-legacy that really needs the attention, or at least a chance. You see it, go grab it, and you're helping somebody out.
Especially nowadays, these big distilleries, are corporations. They're not family. Uh, these little guys, if you will, I try to get behind them because, it is something different, and it is something that, you know, it's their livelihood. Not saying that somebody like Heaven Hill, if they're hurting, it doesn't hurt everybody. But I mean, they're talking about multi-billion-dollar corporations compared to, hundreds of thousands or maybe million. It just depends. But I think that they need the support as well. And like I said, you get things that you can't get anywhere else. I guess that's kind of the whole point of barrel picks, right? Is to get something that you can't walk down to the local liquor store and pick up off the shelf. So
that's basically what I have in the glass right here. I mean, this bottle right here wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the other guy sitting on this stream right now, because he gets access to things that other people don't.
And
well, let's crack into the debt.
That's where I was about to go. Is you mentioned small craft, you mentioned non-big time organizations. If there's one out there that I'll plug personally for people to try, if you haven't tried, I'll tell you it's a buy before you try. You don't have to try before you buy. Man, go support Detling. Go support Seth Detling. It's a 2-man operation. It's Seth Detling and Vicky. It's him and his wife. It's everything's done by a 2-man operation, him and his wife, and it's just phenomenal work, phenomenal people, phenomenal family, and they're doing it the right way for the right reasons. So that's
phenomenal bourbon.
Absolutely.
I was out there 3 weeks ago. What an amazing time and a memory, and just wow. Tasting it straight from the barrel is another experience that is just
I don't know Seth personally. I made him a barrel head once and sent it to him. So Seth, if you're watching this, I was the dude that sent you the barrel head with your logo. But man, I can just fall in so deep down the rabbit hole when he starts talking.
Absolutely.
I mean, I equivalent him to like probably if you went back to the 70s and talked to Jimmy Russell. The knowledge.
Now you're speaking Seth's language, though.
Yeah, if you go on a barrel pick with Seth, which like Kris said, I'm fortunate, and I consider myself fortunate to be a good friend of Seth's. I know Seth really well. I know Vicky really well. I'm over there probably every month to month and a half. I'm just it's a friendship, not a relationship. So I'm fortunate to know the guy the way I do. But he'll tell you on barrel picks that I like to do my barrel picks the way I make whiskey, slow and steady. His barrel pick will last you 5, 6, 7 hours because he wants you to get the experience of a 1980s Bardstown or 1980 Kentucky barrel pick back in the day when you sat on the back porch with Jimmy Russell and you sat there and sampled, and that's his style, and that's the way he does it, and that's the way he'll continue to do it. So it's cool that you mentioned the Jimmy Russell thing, because that's he looks up to Jimmy. If there's not many people that he looks up to, but Jimmy's one of them.
Well, I mean, Jimmy Russell is a legend. I mean, the Buddha of bourbon. I love Jimmy Russell. If Jimmy Russell could adopt me as his son, I would be up in Kentucky right now, and I'd be like, Mr. Jimmy, where do you want me to drive you to? You mean go down to the Kentucky Fried Chicken? Let's go, buddy.
Yeah, that's the thing we love about this whole group. We've gone on several trips, one trip, good trip together, and we're hopefully doing much more in the future. But meeting people like that and seeing people like that, and I've been fortunate enough to listen to Seth on numerous, podcasts and everything that he's done. And we were on a Zoom call one night that he was on,
Mm-hmm.
and he, just so knowledgeable and willing to share everything with everybody. I'll give you my story with Detling. 3 years ago on Father's Day, I was at a craft brewery that had bourbon as well. And they put the bottle up on the table and said, well, we've got this, and we're just sharing pours of it tonight for people to try. And he poured it, and I'm like, how do I get a bottle? He goes, well, I don't have any bottles. And thus began the 3-week venture of chasing all around Southern Illinois, and me and my buddy grabbing every single bottle of it we could find.
Yep.
Because it is so rare. There was like 2 barrels that were, we got in touch with them. They sent us a note back. He goes, well, we only released 2 barrels to Illinois. And so we knew what the barrels were, we knew what the proof was, and he was kind enough to let us know. And that was the cool thing about it. You chase it, and I think many in our group, the Bourbon Legends, there's quite a few of them that have chased, and we have a lot of bottles in the
Well,
sitting in reserve.
Probably not as much as these two guys.
No,
I've got a feeling they have more than what we have.
I've got a small collection of Detling. It's
yeah.
I say small, but it's rather large. But like I said, man, I'm blessed to know the guy the way I do. So it's fun, and like he was saying, it's the good thing is he's not worried about trying to keep up with demand. He's not going to put out something that's subpar just to keep up with demand. He's going to put out an allotted amount of barrels per year. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. It's not that he don't care. It's just that he's not going to rush production, and he's not going to rush aging just because more people want the product. It's going to, when you buy a bottle, it's going to be top notch, and that's just the way it is. And I appreciate that. And for everybody that's watching, like I said, me and Kris have been in numerous places, man. We've been treated with red carpets. We've been treated really, really good by a lot of people. O.H. Ingram, Old Dominic, Sugarfield, Stripe Pig, a lot of these places we go to, man, it's phenomenal. But it's Seth Detling is a different experience.
Craig and Roger, you said you've been on some picks. Have you got to try the White Dog or the Moonshine, whatever, the pre-barrel product of any place yet?
Yeah.
I know, Craig, without saying what you're going to say, I know what you're saying. So with that said, when I went to Detling, one of the biggest things that blew my mind was trying the White Dog and how insanely good it was, and how I would just drink it like that. Like straight off the still, to me, what it reminded me of is 1992 sitting on a Saturday morning watching cartoons and the milk left over in my cereal bowl.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That's what I got from it. And I was like, no wonder your product's so good. You're starting with an amazing base. Like, you're starting with probably the best base I've ever tasted.
Well, and also,
I wasn't there with you on that pick, Kris, but if I know Seth the way I know Seth, he probably told you that if it's not right here, it's not going to be right down the line. That if it's not coming off the steel perfect, nothing else you do to it down line is going to make it any better. So if it's not perfect here, we're not going to barrel it.
I don't want to say too much about Seth, because I want to get Seth on this show, and I want to hear Seth have it come from his mouth. But I mean, that's exactly right. If you can't start with bad shrimp and make a great etouffee. You know what I mean? You've got to have the right ingredients, and by listening to what he said, he's imported what was it from Germany? Is it the I can't remember which grain it was, but he's very anal about what goes in. It's all pot still, basically. I mean, I guess it might be does he have
it's double pot distilled. So
okay, I didn't think he had a small column, but I mean, that's where your flavors come in. Let's face it, guys. Everything that we drink from a big distillery, other than maybe Woodford, they have pot still, but they still run it through a column afterwards. Most of your stuff you're getting the barrel, because that stuff is just stripped of its flavor. But that's a whole nother ball game there. We're not going to go there. But
like I told you earlier, give me some aged pot distilled product, and now we're going to start talking.
Yeah, I still remember that there was someone showed on a video sometime of a White Dog from Detling that he had done, and it was a clear bottle, and I was like, I just was sitting there with my mouth wide open. How do I go find this? Where do I find? And they go, no, there was only one done of it, and it was done, and good luck. But this group, I can tell you, I don't put anything beyond our group. And I know same with your group. You got people that are just adamant and passionate and will hunt things up. And we've got we got guys that are going to hunt up every bottle they can find of certain things, and Dettling is one. We have another gentleman that was part of our group that he went down to southern Mississippi for the one express purpose. He said, I took out a loan from the credit union so I could buy more Crittendens.
Yeah.
Matt
does some really good stuff.
Yep. And you're not talking another one. You're not talking about a large corporation. You're talking about, a family that does this, and he does it. And
before we get too far away from Dettling, we do our fundraisers every year. We do a couple different ones, but our main one is always off the Dettling bottle because in the bourbon world that we live in, this is one of the most sought after bottles that come out every now and again. And this past year, we did the Huntington's awareness, and Seth okayed me to put his likeness on the bottle. But we raised Caleb. How much do we write the check for Huntington's?
$2,400.
That's awesome.
Go give to research for Huntington's awareness.
That's awesome.
That's
Kris stole my last question I was going to ask.
Oh,
but that's great. No, that's great because I did want you guys to talk about that because,
the charitable side
of it, helping others, not just through bourbon, but through bourbon, helping others, like you said, with the Huntington's disease research and things like that. I think that's a huge, huge part of your success. I should say our success because, hey, I'm a Bourbon Together member. So, I mean, hey, that's the other thing.
The thing
I'm a wannabe.
It's been a big thing, and that was one of the first things I mentioned to Kris when we started this thing is we're blessed. It's time to bless others that aren't blessed. So we've decided, and like I said, Dettling usually every year is our big charity. Last year we did the cancer pig. That was nearly $2,000 that we donated to Ronald McDonald for housing of parents and stuff that was dealing with the issues of cancer. This year we did the Huntingtons. We've donated several $100s to local animal shelters. We've
Toys for Tots.
Yeah, we did last year. We did a little over $2,100 for Christmas for Toys for Tots. So it's something that we do every year, and every pick we try to we try to send something, even if it's small, something to help somebody out. And usually Dettling is our big deal, and then in Christmas we'll do a Toys for Tots for the kids to be a big deal. But everything we do has a little.
If you guys need a Santa Claus to come on and shoot you a video, I know a guy who goes by the name of Bourbon Santa, and he could probably come in and shoot some sort of little video, help you guys out.
Yeah, you can't beat Bourbon Santa. He will amaze you. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, but we're talking about whiskey. We're not talking about Santa now, but that's one of those things that is near and dear to my heart. Is the toys for kids, and I'm very blessed as portraying Santa. I get to work for people who can afford to hire me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I like that whole kind of giving back, like the Kris Kringle thing, the whole silent, throwing the coins into, because that's really what makes the world go around, I'll quote Ozzy. I don't know if you guys were Ozzy fans or not, but Ozzy says that, it doesn't matter if you believe in God or Jesus Christ or whatever, it basically comes back to us, what we can do for each other. That's what really makes the world go round. And I totally butchered that line, but it's live TV, so whatever.
It is what it is, and we're firm believers, and Kris is on board with it. If we're not giving back, if we're not helping, then we're doing it for the wrong reasons. And if the day ever comes to where we can't help or we decide not to help, then we're doing it for the wrong reasons at that time. So as long as me and Kris is running Bourbon Together, there will always be charitable donations. There will always be help for the less fortunate. And we're always trying to stretch that. We're always trying to find new things. We're always trying to find who could use more help, who needs more help. Where should it go? We try to find where it's going to be to where whatever we donate actually helps and not go to management or whatever. So it's a continued research, and it's just something that we believe in. So it's a big part of what we do.
You know what, Roger? I don't think we can top that. Guys, thank you so much for coming on our show. Seriously. Cheers, everyone. Ding.
Appreciate you for having us, buddy.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what. I'm
You'll
glad
have
to
to
be
do
part
this
of the
again
group.
sometime.
Yeah, we need to get together. We were talking before the show started. And I know we all look different, but our minds, I think, all kind of run along those same parallel lines. So let's do a part 2 sometime, maybe next year or something. If we're all still here in the bourbon business, let's get back together and let's talk something different. I think that'd make a great show. All right, guys, everyone, y'all go to Facebook and check out Bourbon Together on Facebook there. And these guys are 2 cool dudes. They're really good guys. I knew a little bit about Caleb, talked to him, just met Kris today. I could hang out with you guys all day and probably end up buying another King of Kentucky.
Oh boy.
I'll tell you that at another time, though.
Yes.
All right, guys, everyone, Caleb Walters. Well, I always want to say Walters. Caleb Walters. Kris, yeah, it's just Southern accent thing. Kris Gaskins. Guys, thanks for being on the show. And until next time, we'll see you. Man, what do you think about it, Roger?
I think that was one of the best ones we've done yet.
We really deep dived on that one. I mean, we're almost at 2 hours. So I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted.
I'm tired and I'm ready to get some rest.
Oh, Lord.
I know we got a lot of people still online and everybody's commenting, which is a good thing.
We do. Hey, let's talk about next week's show.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
It's going to be next Thursday, as always, same time, same channel. I really don't know what we're going to do yet. We take one week at a time, but I do know we have a guest.
Yes,
and
we do.
If Roger will tell us who to look forward to next week on the show.
Carlos Montoya from Whiskey Corner. He's going to be on the show. In fact, he's live right now. So if you guys jump off here, jump over to his live. And he's got a live going right now. But he'll be on next Thursday with us. We'll kind of be discussing what's going on with his show and all things involving bourbon, because he's a very positive and upbeat person, and I enjoy him a lot.
Kris wants to know if he's done with the show. Yeah, you're done, Kris. Stick a fork in you. You're done.
We appreciate it, Kris.
I think, yeah, and thanks, Caleb, too. I tell you what, I'm tired. I'm glad we're not doing a spinning the wheel right now. I'm ready to hit the hay, man.
Man, it's tired. Time to go sleep, Sam.
I am. I tell you what, I'm burning out early tonight. It's not even 10 o'clock, but my carriage is getting ready to turn back into a pumpkin. So,
only thing we need is Marty here to hit the button. You know.
Well, I can hit the button.
Okay, you hit the button.
You mean hit the button?
Hit the button. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night, and thanks to our Patreons, and be looking for our drawing on Monday. Looks like we're getting a lot closer to that 300 subscriber mark. So if you know anybody else, and drag them in, get them to subscribe. Let's hit 300 this weekend.
Yeah, let's Monday night. Let's give away 2 bottles. Okay. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us tonight. Remember, it's not the bourbon in the bottle that makes you a legend. It's the bonds that you create with that bottle that makes you one. Now, go out and be legendary, okay? Cheers. I'm empty. I'm empty.
You're empty. Cheers. I got you covered.
Bye, everyone.
Pour one more for the stories we've told of barrels and bottles and whiskey gold. From grain to glass, through fire and flame, every pour's got a legend's name.